Hi, this is Nick George with Cloud Diamond Sharpening. We're just going to make a video called Copper Blade Sharpening and why it's important, the quality of it. Why would you want to have professional clipper blade sharpening if you run a business? We'll just go through, talk about how to maintain your blades, talk about the parts. Let's go down the table and have some fun. Okay, so this is an old Andis blade. It's a Andis BG, means barber blade. It's a 1/3 millimeter. It's pretty old. It just came out of my grave pile. Well, it doesn't even move. Well, it does if you push really hard. So we'll loosen that up and resharpen this and get it to cut. Okay, so now these are wide blades. So if you have blades have shape, and that's how they stay sharp for a long time. So if you oil your blades and you get them sharpened from me, I put shape on them that makes them last a long time. So I could sharpen this and put this on this blade and it would still cut. Okay? I could sharpen it and put it over here and it will still cut. I can take this blade and I can sharpen it and I can put it on this blade and it would still cut because my shape matches. Okay? So when a blade becomes flat, it is dull. We professionally sharpen these for over 20-25 years. I don't even keep track anymore. And they will last longer than a brand new blade because a brand new blade is from a factory and sometimes it has a little bit of hollow to it, which is good. That means it will last a little bit. But most people buy new blades from me and then they get them sharpened right out of the package because it's your job. You want your blades to always work. And I can guarantee if you oil your blade and get it sharpened through us, it most likely will last the longest out of anyone. So yeah, try us out today. Links are in the description. I got website, Facebook, everything. So let's go through this. So to take apart a blade, you take out these two screws. This gizmo is the spring. It holds the tension on the blade. There's a guide so the blade can guide along it and not have metal on metal. It just not good, especially since people don't oil. This is a socket, okay? Its job is clear. The hinge goes under there, then these two ears hold it from shaking. So this is a cutter blade. This is a comb blade. This blade does not move. It does not cut you. Okay, now the surface of it is sharp in between the teeth, but this is actually what cuts. It's a cutter blade. Okay, this moves back and forth. So if this is hanging over this shiny spot right here, see this shiny flat spot, then it won't cut hair. Okay, so if you move it back a little bit, that's perfect. Want it like that. And then you want it straight or it'll leave like a, I don't know what you would call it, a side hawk. I don't know. It wouldn't be even. So we'll just take it apart. We'll sharpen all these. And I'll show you how to put these back together. And we'll test them to see if they cut by the end of the video. And yeah, let's go to the sharpening. So this is not a flat wheel, it hollows it out. Okay, trust me, I have to get these resurfaced. If it was a flat wheel, I would never have to get it resurfaced and it would be awesome because I would save a lot of money. But it has to be resurfaced or you don't get sharp blades. A flat blade is a dull blade, you'll understand that. I make other videos of flat blocks and stuff like that. This is nice and dark so we can see what's going on. So let's begin sharpening. Beautiful. So usually when the runners are gone, you want to stop sharpening because this is so flat, it has a hard time for the cutter blade to hit the lever in the clipper, so it doesn't work all the time. But we're just going to go ahead and do it, and I would let you know when you get them sharpened if your blade is too worn to sharpen. And they're kind of hard to sharpen without rails, but I've been doing it for a while. I think it'll be fine for today. Beautiful, it still has the rails on there. There's the old blade when metal used to be good. Beautiful, now we gotta clean it off. Alright, so it's all sharp. It looks flat, but it is not. Anyone can sharpen on a block, but you could ruin your blade if you don't do it right, and it doesn't last for a very long time. So if you do this professionally, I recommend not using a block. These are the old blades. Well, the old cutter. And the T84 blade. So we'll put a little oil on them, on the running surfaces. Okay, so a lot of people have problems putting the blades back together. So what I do is I take the socket, put it on my middle finger, okay? See? And then you can adjust it. See how you can move the holes? That's perfect. Okay? Now you take this blade and you put it on top, the comb blade on top, and you can see the holes and line it up. And you can actually do it with one hand and adjust it with your hand. Okay, then you put the screws in and you tighten them up, okay? So it's tight, okay? Not real tight. It's, you know, it's stopped. So now I back it off a quarter of a turn, okay? Screw it in. Back it off quarter of a turn, okay? So now if it has 2 pounds of pressure, I should be able to put my finger under there. Now if it's so tight and still stuck way down there, you probably have too much tension. And I have videos of that. You'll have to look through my data, and we don't need to explain that today. So now I have a little gap in here. See, I can grab it. Look at this. I just slide it right in there. Okay? Oh, no, the teeth are hanging over. Look at that. We don't want that. So I scoot it back a little. Okay, so now if you notice this light up here, see, there's a little gap. That's good. That's perfect. We want that because if the skin gets in there, it's gonna cut it. That's where it cuts. So you never want it hanging over because it'll cut your face or the dog or anything. So I'm gonna put the left side of the blade down. This is important. The left side of the blade down, okay? Why I do this, because when I tighten this, it's gonna tend to wanna move the top of this over a little bit. And you'll never get a straight blade if you don't do it this way. I mean, you can do it other ways, but good luck. You're gonna be trying for a while. So I tighten it up, and then I flip it over flat. Then on the right screw, I tighten it. Okay, now this should be straight. Up, it's not, see? Because I wasn't paying attention. But that's okay, that's good for this video. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now we have a problem over here. So let's loosen this side, because it's hanging over 1/4 of a turn. You got that? Look at this, watch this. Now we just move it straight. Look. It like just lined up. It's like magic. Okay? So now we can tighten it back up and it will be straight. So there we go. Perfect. Okay? So now let's try this again, because this is tricky. Put it on my middle finger. You have to learn how to balance it. It's not too hard. Okay? So then I put this comb on top and I line the holes up. I can see the holes. Put the screws in. Tighten them up. Back them off 1/4 of a turn. Tighten them up. Back them off 1/4 of a turn. Put my fingers up. It's a little tight. It's a little tight. I can't get the cutter in there. So to me, that's too tight. But I don't recommend you do your tension unless you watch my tension video, because you can ruin your whole sharpening and the blade won't work until you fix this. So I'm loosening the tension. Okay, because I want to get my finger under here. Simply because I don't want too much tension, but I sharpen them so I know how much tension I can have. Okay, so now I can get it in there. Okay, that's perfect. A little tight maybe. I just hit it so I can straighten it easier so I don't have to loosen it. Okay, so that's straight. And now put the left screw down, teeth facing me, tighten it, and then the right one, tighten it. And the blade's perfect. Okay, but man, ooh, that's tough. That's probably 5 pounds pressure. You can check it by sliding a blade halfway open and then putting it on a scale and just pushing and seeing how much weight it has. That's the simplest way. So I'm gonna loosen a little more because there's probably about 3 or 4 pounds of pressure, and I don't like that. So now it's much easier to move. Let's go more. That's probably 3 pounds. Okay, so that's much easier. Okay, I like that. So let's test these bad boys out and see if they work. Okay, and this AG clipper, I like it the best. AGC is pretty good. SMC is really good too. If you have any questions about clippers, just let us know in the comments. We'll look you up. So I always engage my blade running because I work on motors. And what happens is if the blade's engaged already, first of all, it could be seized up. And when this tries to start, it's going to start and it's going to burn the commutator. And you're going to get little black marks on your commutator, and eventually it's not going to make good connection. And it's just better to have it running. But also because then the lever just falls into place. Look, you can have it over to the side a little and it'll still engage. So now you have it a little over to the side a little and you try to engage it now, it won't because you got to move it to line it up. It's just a pain. It'll still start up, but it's not good. So I do it running. Perfect. So, okay, now people say this is not hair. Okay, I agree with you, this is not hair. This is cotton string intertwined, a lot of them. Okay, but hair is easier to cut than this. So I can have a blade that doesn't cut this string and it will cut hair still. But what this string shows me is the quality of my work. And I always want the highest quality to give to my customers. I don't want you to come back all the time. I do, I love seeing you and I love working on your equipment. But the thing is some people are too busy and they would rather do their job than hang out with me all day. So, that being said, as I do my best work, so you can come see me and we're both happy, okay? So, there we go, we'll try this T-blade here. So there it is. That's beautiful all the way across. And what, you want me to prove it? I'll get some hair and we'll get this rocking. Okay. So here's just a bunch of hair. I mean, hopefully you don't groom like this because I don't think you're supposed to. I'll just hold it like a ponytail and we'll just see if it cuts this. Sorry, it hit my hand. So it cuts it very easy. And if you actually do it like a real hair instead of clumping it up, it cuts really easy. Okay, so like this. How easy it cuts. It's beautiful, guys. Okay, so now we'll try something else. Okay, so let's line these up. Get the screws here. Tighten it up. Quarter of a turn back. We'll go ahead and put this on here. This blade won't fit either. See the gap between it? It's a shorter cutter. It's a whole different style of blade. But this will still work for demonstrational purposes. It's kind of funny because it's such a short little cutter. You can't get it any higher, but it is in between the teeth, so it still will cut, and we'll just have a little fun with it. Okay, so there's that, and then there's this. So this one I didn't have to take apart, okay? See the difference in the gap here? Yeah, it won't even work. If you can tell, it's wider than the running surfaces. So I can't show you on that one. That stinks. But we'll do this one. Hopefully it even moves the blade. And it does. It's amazing. Okay, so if this cuts, it's going to be super embarrassing. And it does. It cuts like, I don't know. It just cuts good. That's it. Okay. So we sharpen these, and I mean, this blade is at least 20 years old, and it's still going, no rust, because I keep oil on it to oil a blade, let's put one of these blades back together. And then we'll put this back together. Quarter turn, just back in there. Has perfect tension because I already adjusted it. Tighten it. Okay, so this is how you oil a blade. It's so important to use oil. People say, you know, the oil gets on the dog or the human hair, and I just don't like it on my customers. Well, here's your options. You don't have to use oil. If you don't use oil, you actually have to get your stuff sharpened more. Your clippers get damaged because it's harder to move the blades. You have to get your stuff sharpened more because dirt gets in there and grinds instead of just beads away with the oil. Plus, your blade rust lowers the quality of your cutting. Plus, they start turning orange, and then it leaves orange rust on your dog. So, I mean, the option is yours, but I use oil on everything, even my cooking pan and everything. But anyway, so the best way to oil a blade is just run this clipper blade oil across. I recommend using Oster or Andis or Wall clipper blade oil just because it isn't harmful, it has no odor, no color, and it can resist heat better than most oils. So then you put a dot here and a dot here and a dot in there, okay? And then you can go like that. Or you could just simply, before every dog or human hair, you put this on, okay? And you just go, I mean, it's so easy. And if you have questions of how much to oil, well, that is kind of up to you. I probably would oil at least every 15 minutes, I would say. I mean, don't quote me on that. Maybe you can go longer, but like, there's some people that don't even use oil ever, and that's just horrible. And they have orange blades, trust me. And I have to remove more metal to get them sharp because the shape is so baked into there, the flat surface, and then I have to get rid of the grooves that the dirt was grinding in there because they weren't oiled. So it's best to oil your blades at least once before you put the blade on, and then once you take it off. Or, I mean, at bare minimum, just before you use it, just oil it. Just give it some love, and it will thank you. Your clipper will thank you. Without oil, it beats these bearings up. This clipper gets serviced about once a year, and it runs, I would say, at least 4 or 5 hours a day, and just checking blades. And well, maybe not that long, 3 or 4 hours a day, just straight running and checking blades, disengaging them, engaging them, and you can see no orange. I never replace this bearing. The only thing I ever replace is the blade drive, because this gets rounded eventually, or if you get it too hot, it'll melt in there, but I don't do that. But then this, because the blade ears go here, and it gets beat in, and then you have to replace this, and this gets weak, and sometimes your latch breaks. So there we go. Thank you for this wonderful adventure. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please ask. Please subscribe for more videos, and visit the website if you need some service for scissor sharpening, clipper services, or clipper blade sharpening. And yeah, well, you'll enjoy my work. Bye, YouTube. Have fun, and Don't stand any fire ants, because they will bite you. So, bye.
Well, I've got these clippers, shiny and bright. Gonna trim some hair with sharp blades, make it look just right with ease. But before I start, there's a rule to obey. Gotta oil those blades, keep the rust away. Oh, oil your blades every night and day. Keep them running smooth, no hair in the way. They will stay sharp as long as they can, and your clipper will love you. Oil your blades, let the clippers glide. A little drop of oil makes the cut just right. I love you, oil. You don't want your clippers to snag and pull, leaving patches in your hair looking like the fool. Just a drop of oil, it'll do the trick. Keeps the blade sharp and your cuts are slick. Oh, oil your blades every night and day. Keep them running smooth, no hair in the way. They will stay sharp as long as they can, and your clipper will love you. Oil your blades, let the clippers glide. A little drop of oil makes the cut just right. I love you, oil. No, you don't want your clippers to snag and pull, leaving patches in your hair looking like a fool. Just a drop of oil, it'll do the trick. Keeps the blade sharp and your cuts are slick. Oh, oil your blades every night and day. Keep them running smooth, no hair in the way. They will stay sharp as long as they can, and your clipper will love you. Oil your blades, let the clippers glide. A little drop of oil makes the cut just right. I love you, oil. Crown's Diamond Sharpening recommends to oil your blades. So use that oil and get a smooth, clean fade. Now use that oil, don't you forget. A little bit of oil, it's your best bet. Keeps those clippers purring like a cat, and your haircuts, man, they'll be where it's at. Beautiful, I tell you. Oh, oh. Every night and day, keep them running smooth, no hair in the way. They will stay sharp as long as they can, and your clipper will love you. Oil your blades, let the clippers glide. A little drop of oil makes the cut just right. I love you, oil. So grab your oil and don't you wait. Oil those blades before it's too late. Don't let them blades get hot. You don't have to oil a lot. Keep them sharp, keep them clean, and your clippers will be the best you see. Well, it's your best friend. Ask Cloud Diamond Sharpening for some, and they will send you some.